Hey y'all. Today I'm going to be adding some annuals here that I picked up on clearance weeks ago. This is a very good time to pick up things that you might want to try that you've never grown before. If you go around to the garden centers, the big box stores, they've put a lot of that kind of stuff on clearance, and even online. Online, if you buy a certain amount, a lot of times you'll get free shipping. You just have to, whichever one works better for you. I've kindly done both. But I've got several things here that I've never grown before, but I wanted to try. Some of it's even new for this year, but it was all clearance. I paid like half price or less. And, I wouldn't want to pay full price for stuff that I'm not sure if it's going to grow well or do good in my area. And so, it's just a good time to try those kind of things out in your garden and not have to pay the full price for it. And, if you're in a northern state, you're not going to have as long of a growing season left as what we do here in the south. But you can still try it out, You still got plenty of time. We're, not going toward the end of July now. And so you've still got plenty of time. But here in the south, because it's probably, a lot of times we have until all the way up almost till Thanksgiving. Even though our first frost date usually is between the middle of October to the end of or near the end of October. Last year we had one small frost, I think it was around mid-October, and then we were hot all the way up till Thanksgiving. And so I just had to, cover a few things that I wanted to continue to grow on that one frost, and then everything lasted all the way up till stuff was still blooming and beautiful at Thanksgiving here in my yard, like summer annuals and stuff. So anyways, I'm going to show y'all some of the things I'm going to plant. In this area, I'll talk a little bit about this area as I'm, showing y'all what I'm going to be planting. Now this is an area that last year I created a border with this variegated lawyer rope grass. I dug up, I think, one or two clumps, and I divided it into multiple small clumps and made a border that you can see here. And I love the way it's looking this year. But I had in this area where you see all these pots laying down, which is what I'm fixing to plant, I had started some yarrow from seed a couple of years ago. And it's beautiful. It done great here, but it just continued to spread. So the other day I got in here and I pulled it all up. Except for I see a few sprouts right here. I pulled it up and I decided that I wanted to try some of these annuals that I picked up over the last probably 6 weeks on clearance. And I'm going to show y'all what they are. Now this spot here is an area where I get part of the day sun and part of the day shade. And you can see these are already wilted again, which I'm fixing to water them. But the first one I'm going to be planting is this one right here. This is the Totally Tempted Vivid Violet. And so these are a type of Coffea. These are a type of Coffea. And this one, and I've got actually 3 or 4 here that are different colors. These are going to get 16 inches tall and 18 inches wide. And so now if you're in zone 8 and above, these could be a perennial for you. Maybe they will be for me because The vermilionaire is also a copia, and it did come back for me. Even though I had propagated off of it, it did come back. And so, this is another one. These are very pretty, and now these blooms are totally different than the copia of the vermilionaire. And just ignore the fact they're wilted. They'll be okay once I plant them and water them. This one has the same specs on it. I'm sure they all do. So there's 3 of the copias. This one's really pretty. It's red with a purple center. And this one's called Watermelon Wine. Okay, and the next 3 that I'm going to be planting are a type of Angelonia. This is the Wedgwood Blue, and these get pretty good size. Now these clearly are not going to get as big as they would have if I planted them in the early spring, or I wouldn't think they would. This one's going to get up to 30 inches tall and 14 inches wide, which will be the same specs on the other ones. And these are only hardy in zones 10 and up. So these will not be coming back for me next year. But I've got 3, and you can see they're all kind of wonky looking because they've been just setting for the last few weeks, but they'll be okay once they're planted. This one's really pretty too. It's called Perfectly Pink. And now all of these are full sun plants, but I'm needing to fill in this area, and I want to try these to see how well they do. And yeah, the same specs. This one's called Wedgwood Pink. And you can see it's really pretty with the white and the light pink. And so let's get these planted. I've also got 2 of the pentas that I'm going to plant over here. I know this time of year you'll have to keep these watered for really well. You'll have to keep a watch on them for the first couple of weeks. And then after that, you probably can back off on the watering a little bit. And hopefully these will get enough sun here. You know, a lot of these plants are just trial and error. And then sometimes, you know, maybe you didn't plant them exactly in the right. So if these don't do great for me, then it's probably that I planted them where they didn't get as much sun as I would like. But I want to fill this area in because I'm fixing to do a walkway on the other side of this flower bed. And when I do that, I would like to have, you know, some things that are blooming really pretty here by it the rest of the season. If you're especially in the south, go on ahead even with your annuals this time of year and pour a little bit of water in the hole. And it'll just help give them a better head start. And then just keep a watch on them for the next couple of weeks and water them as they're needing it. I already know the Angelonia does really good for me here in the South. But these new varieties are so different. The Angelonia and the Coffea. That red one, the totally tinted watermelon wine, it actually, I've had it set and one of the stems had laid over onto a pot beside of it with that had dirt, but no plant in it, and it's already propagated. A little piece of it did, so I cut it loose. And these are growing more spilling over than they are upright. I'm hoping that corrects itself in a couple of weeks in the ground. This is the time of year when it's really hard to keep things that are in little bitty pots watered, and so, but now that these are getting planted, yeah, this one looks pretty wilted. I'm going to hope this one makes it. I will definitely have to keep an eye on this one. This is the walkway going into this area. And I thought it would be pretty to have one on each side right here. One is the Sunstar Pink and the Sunstar Rose. And basically it's just a darker pink. All of these are pollinator plants. Your pollinators love everything I've planted, and so does the hummingbirds. I'm going to leave this is a tip. If you're trying something new and you're doing multiple of something, you either want to save your tags or leave them with the plant when you plant them. That way, if it's something you really enjoyed during that growing season, you won't have to look up what it is. You'll already know what you're looking for the next year. There's so many new plants that comes out every year. Sometimes it can get confusing. Since I planted those near the pool area, I wanted to give y'all a little update on a few things, and I wanted to show y'all some of the hibiscus that are blooming out here near the pool, and I'm going to show y'all why I love these so much. They are so pretty. Maybe some people don't like them, but I don't know why you wouldn't. There's a color literally for whatever your color is. And now I don't have every color, but I do have several colors, so I'm not exactly sure what variety this is. Like I said, I'll put it on the screen if I can remember. But you can see how big these flowers are. They're absolutely beautiful, and this bush it's a little over 5 foot tall. I was thinking in the spring that this was Holy Grail, but it's not. This has more of a candy apple red flower. The Holy Grail has more of a crimson color. I'll show y'all it in a few minutes because it's planted in a different area. Along with this dark foliage, it's just beautiful. It has green and, burgundy foliage. Now this one, well, there's actually 3 here. One of them self-seeded itself last year. Now, I've not had that happen with the proven winter ones. These are the older varieties, and they're much shorter. These only get like 3.5 foot tall. They also come in multiple colors. This one is pink, and it's beautiful. I've had these here for a few years. The one on the other side, these 2 right here are pink. This is the one that self-seeded and came up last year. But the one on the other side is white, and it's not opened all the way up. I'll see, or maybe it's already closing up because the blooms only last one day. But they have so many blooms till they're consistently blooming. This is the one on the other side. It's white and pink with a red center. Actually, it's a dark pink center. But these are just beautiful to me. Now I'm going to show y'all some more. This one is called Carnival. And this one has it's in between a pink and a red bloom. And what I really like about this one is the foliage on it. Even when this one's not blooming, you have this really pretty variegated foliage. Look at that. I love it. The green and white and pink. All of the new growth is variegated that color. Now once it, comes in and it starts growing, it's kind of see if I can find one here. It's more green with white edges. That one's still got a little bit of pink, but it will turn more white around the edges. And this one also gets pretty good size. It's close to the size of the one that I showed that was a little over 5 foot. This one's probably around 5 foot right now, but this one I think was just planted last spring. And this one's totally different. This is the French vanilla. It does have the new foliage on it. Does have a little bit of burgundy. It doesn't have a lot. I don't know if y'all can see that here. It's more green. But the flowers on this one are so pretty. They're like a creamy white with that dark pink center. It's not red, it's dark pink. And this one is one that they have discontinued. So, if you run across this one, I would highly recommend picking it up. Or if you know someone who has one that maybe you can take a cutting off of, this one's actually one of my favorites. I think this one might be called Starry Night. Again, I'm not positive, but I think it might be. And the whole plant has the purple foliage on it, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. And then you have this beautiful flower, the pink and white. Absolutely beautiful. And now this is the Holy Grail. And you can see this is more of a burgundy flower than the other one. It also has the purple foliage. But as it ages, it turns, more green down in there. This one's pretty good size. It will get much bigger. This one was also just planted last year. You can see it's pretty good size. My little lime punches are, or that's what this one is, I think, the little lime punch. I love it. You can see it's already starting to get a little bit of pink on it. Most of our hydrangeas here in the south don't get pink like that. They'll get a hint and then they start turning brown. But this one, last year, got really pink. And I love it. It's also more upright. It's not as bushy. It's more columnar. Anyways, that's all the ones that's blooming right now that I wanted to show y'all. I couldn't plant. After I got done planting those plants, I thought I've got to show those because they're absolutely beautiful right now. The hardy hibiscus are one that if you've never tried them, I would recommend buying just one and letting it grow 2 summers and just seeing what you think about it. I find them just fascinating how big the bloom is, along with that beautiful foliage. Even if they're not blooming, before they start blooming, you have that really pretty foliage. They do die all the way back to the ground in the wintertime here, and so before, right around springtime, you have to cut them back. That's the only downside to them. But it's usually just a few stems. You just whack them off a few inches above the ground, and because everything that comes back straight up from the ground. Anyways, I just wanted to show y'all those real quick. I will be giving y'all an update in a couple weeks on those that we just got done planting to show y'all, how how they ended up growing, if they corrected themselves, if they, didn't make it, whatever. Either way, I'll give y'all an update. Anyways, if you was looking for tips and ideas on why you would want to pick up some clearance plants this time of year that are annuals, I hope this helps. Until next time, bye.